Dr. Lepisto, soy has always been touted as a wonder food, but there's some issues with soy. It's one of the reactive foods, isn't it?
It is, and it's a controversial food for several reasons. Some of the benefits that you're talking about, we have great research on how it can help women with breast cancer. We also know that it's a great source of protein. On the other hand, we know soy is one of the most common reactive foods. When we do food reactivity testing, serum tests for what are called immunoglobulins, IgG, IgE, soy comes up quite commonly. And there's probably a few reasons for that. Number one, we actually as a population consume American population, far greater amounts of soy than Asian populations. It's typically a condiment, it's typically fermented in, say, a tempeh miso or tamari form, and not consumed anywhere near the amount that we do.
That's the Asian variety.
Yes, well, they're the fermented varieties. We can get them here, but an Asian population typically consumes a lot less soy than we do. So that's the first aspect of the picture. Secondly, there's a curious correlation between the need for the soy industry to get rid of all this excess vegetable protein after they press the soy oil out and the rise of soy products on the American market. You're hard-pressed to not find a vegetarian option that doesn't have soy in it these days if it's a prepared product.
It seems pretty pervasive.
It is very pervasive, and I think that's another reason it's contributing to so much reactivity. In the particular case of someone who is reacting to soy, it can go so far as to be thyroid suppressive.
Really?
Yes, and it can deplete certain minerals from being absorbed. I'm not saying that soy doesn't work for everyone, but it needs to be on a case-by-case basis.
Because it's one of the 5 reactive foods that you talk about.
That's one of the most common reactive foods, that's correct.
And see, people are familiar with lactose intolerance.
Right.
They've become more familiar with wheat intolerance, but not soy.
Not necessarily, and that's something that we also need to become aware of, because it's not, here's an example, alcoholics who stop alcohol, but suddenly it's 10 cups of coffee and creamer each day. We don't want people switching to something else that may be harmful to them also. So it's nice to identify, and there are ways to do that, whether or not soy, and among other foods, is a reactive food to that particular person.
And overconsumption seems to be the key, too.
Yes.
All right.
And I saw this when I visited Expo West. It's the world's largest natural product industry in Anaheim, California. There's probably 5,000 vendors there. When you go into the natural food sections, fully half of all those foods have soy in them. If it's some kind of food that needs additional protein, the usual go-to is soy. Thankfully, there are some alternatives available. A lot of people are going to rice protein or whey protein.
That's true.
And other things besides just soy.
And that's a good thing.
And it is a good thing, because we need some alternatives.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Lepisto.
You're welcome.